fishing. This is going to be a different video. This is my father-in-law's 8-point buck he dropped off into a Euro mount. I had it in the freezer, and I had just put it in this bucket of hot water with some borax, just to kind of loosen all the stuff up. So I still, you can see right on the base of the antlers, I gotta still scrape some of that off. But I noticed having it in the hot water, it kind of started to pre-cook the meat. Because tomorrow I'm gonna put it in a boil and then power wash it because we got a nice warm snap from them. So I'm gonna be able to actually use my power washer in December, which is nice. But so I'm gonna start scraping this thing off. Try to get as much of the meat, eyeballs out of there and stuff as I can. See underneath there, the started already pre-cook, so it should come off a little bit easier than doing that without it being cooked like that. So I'm gonna start scraping on this thing, and I'll get back to you on that. Just to kind of give you an update. I'm gonna be also using this little wire mechanism to use on my drill to get up into the brain cavity and scramble the brains a little bit. So I had did my own 8-point that I shot on October 1st, using the power washer to get up into the brain cavity without scrambling the brains and having a lot of that stuff come out during the boil. It comes right back in your face. So we will be dropping off a 6-point if you guys actually want to see like a whole process of skinning it and everything like that. This is going to be kind of a shorter video. I'll do the boil tomorrow, power washing, kind of show you guys step by step what I've been doing. I'm not going to make a whole long video about it, but yeah, I'm going to start working on cleaning this thing up a little bit more, and I'll get back to you guys. Alright guys, quick update. I got the eyeballs out. I was able to trim up some of this meat. There's a lot of meat right behind the eyeballs, which is the base of the skull where that jaw comes in. So I got a lot of that out of there. It's going to make it a lot easier to clean up once I get it boiled. Brains got scrambled. So yeah, I'll get back to you tomorrow when I get it in the boil. Alrighty guys, it is the next day. I've had this thing in the boil for about an hour and a half-ish. So, see a lot of the meat's already come off. I'm going to scrape this thing off a bit before I power wash it. So I'm going to scrape it off on the table, get a lot of the extra meat off of there that I can, make it easier to power wash, put it back in the boil before while I'm setting up the power washer, and then we'll get this thing out. We just power wash that thing off, and it should be good to go. It shouldn't take too much longer. Alright, so I got it on the table. You can see a lot of that stuff just falling off. So, quick tip, if you guys ever want to do this yourself, I found, so this is clay modeling tools to like mold clay, make like whatever, model clay. I picked this up at Walmart a while back for a different project I was doing. They're like $5 or $6, and it really helps with getting a lot of these like nooks and crannies. And just scraping this thing, like a lot of that tough meat, whatever you can't get out of the with the power washer. This thing's come in handy to just get these little sharp little points and stuff to get the rest of that like cartilage and connective tissue off the skull. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get a lot of this stuff off of here. Put it back in the boil, get that power washer hooked up, and spread this thing down. Okay, so as you guys can see, I was able to get a lot of that extra meat off just by scraping it. I probably could have just scraped this thing without even needing to power wash it. It was coming off pretty easy. But I really don't want to stay here all night doing this. So I'm gonna put this thing back in the boil while I'm setting up that power washer. I'm just gonna try to give it a quick spray off, just to get any extra meat off there and whatnot. And we're gonna have to go back with these tools and pick off any little extra tendons and whatnot. There's certain cartilage and whatnot still in there, and then it should be good to go. So I'll get back to you after I get it power washed. Okay, so there's one quick thing I did not think of before I hooked up the power washer. So I thought about it before I hooked up the power washer. Take your regular garden hose nozzle. Spray as much of that brain cavity out as you can, because I did that with the power washer the last year I did, and I got a bunch of brains that flew back at me. So yeah, if you got a regular nozzle, spray all the brains out as much as you can before you start power washing this thing. But anyways, I'm gonna hook up this power washer, Just spray that thing off. It shouldn't take too long. I got a lot of that meat off already. And bring it inside, and I will show you what it looks like after I power washed it, and I will probably bleach it tonight. So I'll show you how I do that as well. So stay tuned. Alrighty guys, so I got done power washing it. Looking pretty clean. I got just a little bit more. I got to take the utensils too, just scrape off a little bit of that pink stuff. Maybe a little bit of cartilage left. And also, if you guys do this, make sure, you see that hair sticking out, really take the utensil and get up underneath those antlers, because that skin and there's like tendons and connective tissue that really tuck up underneath those antlers. So take something nice and sharp, like see that, like that point. I take up there and I scrape all that out underneath those antlers. Just get everything cleaned off. Just about done with her. Should be about another 20 minutes or so. And I'll get to the bleaching and I'll get back to you guys when we get to that part. Alright guys, we got it completely cleaned out. I'm about to wrap up those antlers and get some bleach on it. And I'll get back to you once I get that bleach on. Alright, so I'm back at the bleaching process. What I do with these is just run wrap on the antlers. And instead of using, a lot of people use electrical tape, you use Teflon tape or your plumber's tape. It's a lot more flexible. I'll wrap that around that. I'm saran wrap. I use a tool like this and this. Kind of really stick it up into the antlers, just get more coverage here. And then to bleach it, we usually use about a scoop or so of that and some of that. Alright, so I got this Clairol Professional Basic White Powder, this Lawn Care 40 Blend Cream. It's kind of mixed up into this cup. Just kind of like a paste. I'm gonna put that all over the skull, on the underside of it, everywhere on there. I'm gonna wrap it up and let it sit overnight, and I'll get back to you guys tomorrow. Alright, so that is all bleached out. It's all wrapped up in a saran wrap. Antlers are tied up. Got that stuff bleaching and that stuff. I'm gonna leave that for 24 hours until I get up in the morning. We're gonna rinse that thing off, make sure that thing's bleached out, nice and white. If not, we'll have to do another coating on it. But other than that, if it's good, we're just gonna have to rinse it off, put a clear coat of paint on there to seal everything up, and I think it's good to go. Alright, it is next morning. This thing has been bleached overnight. I got it all rinsed off. Always make sure to go up underneath these, basically these antlers again, like some sort of tool. Make sure you get all that stuff scraped out of there. Sometimes there'll be a little bit more of that connective stuff sitting up on the base and a little bit of hair and stuff. I went and took the toothbrush, touched up the teeth, make sure all that bleach is off of this thing, and we're gonna hang this thing up. Give it a clear coat, let it dry. Right, so the clear coat's on there. This only takes about an hour or two to dry. You don't have to do the clear coat. I do it, just helps seal up those pores and makes it look easier to dust. The dust doesn't get in there, risk having discoloration over time. But that is done. Just needs to dry off, and we're good to go. Just ready for pickup. Yeah, let me know if you guys want to see a full video on skinning the whole process of this. I got another head that's coming at some point, so we'll have to get to that again. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one.